When Mrs. Wallace met her husband, she thought she'd found her dance partner for life. Now she suspects he's doing the horizontal two-step with someone else. Today on Divorce Court.
All rise. The Honorable Judge Starr presiding.
Hello, everyone. You may be seated.
Your Honor, the case of Wallace v. Wallace.
Thank you very much. Mrs. Wallace and Mr. Wallace, welcome to Divorce Court. Thank you both for being here and trusting us with your relationship, and thank you for joining us here at Divorce Court today. We have a married couple who, although they've been together for 6 years, they've only been married for 2 years, and there's a little one involved. So we have some stakes in the ground here, don't we, Ms. Wallace?
Yes, we do.
Ms. Wallace, why are we in Divorce Court?
We're in divorce court today because I feel like my husband's been lying to me. Somehow our gender roles have gotten switched, and I feel like I've been the man in the relationship, and he's teaching my children that it's okay to lie.
And that is not the way you want your family to operate, am I correct?
Correct.
Mr. Wallace, you heard what your wife said. What do you say, sir?
I'm here to save my marriage.
Yes, sir.
I love my wife dearly, and I love my family, and I don't want to lose them. I know I made some mistakes, and no one's perfect, but I'm here to let her know that I'm here to make myself the better man that I can for myself and for the family.
And you are willing to fight for your marriage?
Yes.
But, Mrs. Wallace, I see you brought divorce papers to court. Am I correct?
Yes, Your Honor. We are facing eviction, and if he can't figure out how to man up and protect our family and our financial standings, as well as pass this lie detector test, I may be signing them today.
Okay, so it sounds like we need to delve a little deeper into what got us to this point. Why don't you take me back to the time when there were daffodils and daisies and you met and what brought us to this point?
I met Michael at 16 through my best friend at her quinceañera rehearsal.
Okay.
We actually winded up being dance partners. In the midst of us being dance partners, I found out he can sing. I found out he could dance and act, and that he was a football player. So you know how us girls like to talk when you're in our teenage years. I told her right then and there, he's gonna be my husband.
So you found your person early on, is what you think?
That's correct.
So I assume you all lost some contact from school time and then figured out how to get back together.
Yes, although we were good friends throughout high school and into college, he went to college in LA and I went to college in North Carolina, and our lives kind of spread apart. I do have a child from a previous relationship, and once that one went down the drain, I just said, why not? Why not just let him know how I've been feeling for all these years?
You shot your shot right there now.
I like you. And the rest is history. I mean, we had our first child, was happy, he was there, he was present, he was doing everything right. I don't want you to think that I just got swindled into this. You had to be doing something right for us to be here and married today, and I'm just looking for that back.
Okay, I'm not mad at any of this thus far. Everything sounds good. What went wrong?
Your Honor, what went wrong is I feel like I'm always second fiddle. I feel like there's broken promises that were supposed to be met, and it all started when, you know, financial issues have always been a thing.
What do you all do in your professional career? Because you're both educated people.
Yes, professionally, I'm a registered behavioral technician. I work with kids on the spectrum.
Oh, wonderful.
And yeah, he works at a spa.
I understand, though, Mr. Wallace, you were thinking about getting into that field. Is that correct, sir?
Yes, I was studying the courses. I was about like 90%, 95, 97% done. My mom died right before the new year.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
So grieving is hard. I mean,
very much so.
But you have to keep going. And but RBT is not my passion. I know that. I want to be a UX UI designer in programming.
He made a promise. That's just what it is. He made a promise.
Explain.
And the promise was that you were going to become an RBT. Typically, it takes about 30 days through and through. However, it's taken him 3 months, and he still has not gotten it done. You have a family. Okay, so leave me with all the bills.
So is that what we're talking about? We're talking about whatever profession you're pursuing at this point is not bringing in the same level of income, and it's impacting on your family's budget. Is that correct, Mr. Wallace?
That's correct. So, Your Honor, I went from assistant manager at another job, and so I got comfortable. So I was like, well, we might as well ride this train. I don't want to leave early for that.
However, it was different from what the plan was that you all had put in place initially.
Exactly.
Did you have an opportunity to sit down and say, my needs have changed?
No.
That's probably the toughest thing for people to do.
He got comfortable, and then when he got comfortable, he lost that job.
Oh, no.
They let him go right when he got comfortable, and he got so comfortable to the fact that he was comfortable enough with us possibly being evicted today.
But you lost your job?
They let me go.
Okay.
They said it was because of budget cuts.
That happens. That happens
so-
in life, but here's the deal. Why not finish the RBT so that you had a backup plan? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just in case plan A don't work, plan
right.
B got to do something, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Rent got to be paid.
Yeah.
What was your backup plan for that?
There wasn't any, Your Honor. He was out of work
Well, the
for
backup
like
plan-
a month.
The backup plan was to finish.
But you did not.
No, I wasn't doing it.
It sounds like you went into a little bit of a depression. Tell me about this eviction, because that would have scared me, not having a place that I knew was going to be there.
It's frustrating. It's frustrating because 7 years previous, I was faced with an eviction by myself with my daughter.
So that must have been triggering for you.
For lack of better term.
Yes, indeed.
And I was able to pay it off. The eviction was on my case for 7 years. For 7 years, I could not get a place by myself. I had to stay with my grandmother. I wound up moving in with him, and then he had to get our place. So literally in November, I put my name on the lease because I was able to again. And here we are. I was ear hustling, because he doesn't talk to me. I know I'm assertive, I know I'm a strong personality, but I've always left the door open for him to talk to me. And I found out there was a conversation about oral sex.
That's where this trust went down. Mr. Wallace, I have to imagine that confrontation was not a pretty one.
No, it wasn't.
And this is, needless to say, the
It's
last thing that
frustrating.
you can deal with again.
It's frustrating because I was able to do, parenting and life by myself. It was hard, but I did it by myself. And now I have you in the household with me, able-bodied, a man, and I'm back in the same shoes that I was 7 years ago. Like, that's not where I want to be. He gets comfortable. This person is more important than your wife, than your children, than your household.
But when it's about my mom and saying that I can't drive to go and see her when she's on her deathbed.
I get your mom was on her deathbed, but that was her choice.
There seems to be something that's undercurrent here.
His mother died from cancer.
Bless her heart.
The doctors told her that she had 10 to 15 more years if she did chemo to live. She told him no. She told that doctor no several times. Yes, I get it. I haven't had my parents. I still need to make money. You're still rocky between jobs. Going to see your mom every day is not something feasible that we can do because at the end of the day, she's not going to be here. But I need us to have a place to live when she's not here.
Let me ask a question, Mr. Wallace. What were the alternatives for during that time period? Because I can imagine that you would want to be with your mother during those last few days. I can imagine that.
We didn't know how long she had. I would just go just to help her out.
Yes,
it wasn't
okay.
every day because I know that wasn't drastic because we're busy people. We have kids. They have things they have to go to, and we have things we have to do after.
How far did your mom live from you?
15 minutes.
So, Mr. Wallace, see, these are the kinds of things that you sit down with a partner and you start to plot out how that's going to look. That's what marriage is about. That's not the only thing I understand, Ms. Wallace, because you've had some deal breakers for you that have been piled on with this financial situation. Am I correct?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, Your Honor. I know he's been doing something. He's been cheating. He has been doing something.
Really?
However, when we were looking into getting couples counseling,
So you did try that?
yes, we did.
Okay.
And we were doing the intake phone calls. I was ear hustling, because he doesn't talk to me. I know I'm assertive. I know I'm a strong personality, but I've always left the door open for him to talk to me. And I found out there was a conversation about oral sex. You're grieving, but you have time to do that.
That's where this trust went down. Mr. Wallace, I have to imagine that confrontation was not a pretty one.
No, it wasn't, Your Honor.
What was going on with you at that time, sir?
Definitely wasn't doing my best, and she wasn't showing me that she was there for me.
I was busy working.
Like, what am I supposed to do? Like, if I don't feel like a man with you.
So that's an excuse to go out there and cheat?
So what came first, the chicken or the egg? The lack of respect or the disrespect? That's really where we are.
When he leaves out the house, he has underwear on. When he comes back, he has underwear on. One particular night, when he came back from a dress rehearsal, he got out of his clothes, and I couldn't help but notice on the floor, his pants, he didn't have any underwear on.
But Ms. Wallace, that's not the only situation, right?
No. So we're dancers, and I'm usually the person that goes without underwear. I wear, you know what I mean? I'm free in that way,
That
depending on the
wasn't on my bingo
clothes.
card today that somebody was going to confess to wearing
I'm
no
sorry,
drawers.
Your Honor.
Okay.
But when he leaves out the house, he has underwear on. When he comes back, he has underwear on. One particular night, when he came back from a dress rehearsal, he got out of his clothes, and I couldn't help but notice on the floor, his pants, he didn't have any underwear on. Where are your drawers? Where are your underwear?
Mr. Wallace, y'all don't wear drawers? What's going on?
I'm a professional dancer.
Uh-huh.
So I go down and practice in Miami. That's an hour away. I'm drenched in sweat.
Okay.
And I'm wearing these short trunk underwear. So I'm
Yeah.
just like, okay, I don't want to drive all the way an hour away from Miami to my house in them wet underwear. So I just took them off.
At 1 a.m. in the morning.
But where were they?
Oh, they were in my car.
No, they were not.
If the underwear were in the car, why didn't they come in so they can go in the laundry?
Hey, man.
I just took them off. I forgot to put them in my bag.
And that's your story, you sticking with it?
Sticking with it.
Okay. I don't know you well enough to know if that is the truth, but I do know that that would cause me some suspicion. That just does not pass the smell test. So I at least see where her suspicions are.
To add insult to injury, since we're talking about so much disrespect, for his birthday, we went out and we had a good time. And he decided to stay out later with his friends. No problem, it's your birthday. However, you know, special occasions cause for special occasions when you get home.
Oh.
However, when he got home, he didn't immediately come in the bedroom, which is typical to continue to receive his birthday present, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
He took himself to the shower and brushed his teeth and washed off the day, if you will. But we didn't do anything that was strenuous. He wasn't super sweaty then. So how do you explain that?
Tag your it, Mr. Wallace.
Your Honor,
I'm listening.
I'm a smoker. I'm a smoker and I drink. So me and my buddies were outside at the bar, having a good time, smoking outside of the bar, doing our thing.
And you were funky?
She doesn't like the smell of smoke.
Uh-huh.
That
So
hasn't stopped
I
you
am
before.
gonna brush my teeth and take a shower before I go and do something with her.
So, Mr. Wallace, you know y'all have been together long enough to be able to slide in with a romantic gesture. How about, look at you with your fine self, baby. I'll be right back. I am funky. I got to get myself ready to be with my wife, and the last thing I'm gonna do is breathe on you with funky breath.
Right.
Okay?
I could have done better with a lot of the situations with just talking to her about it.
100%.
Your Honor, it's always I could have been. I should have been. Things that could have been fixed if he just opened his mouth. Like, we're here now for the simple fact that he doesn't talk to me. But yet and still, I find out from ear hustling that you possibly had oral sex. And you expect me to respect you, and you expect me to rely on you when you don't even trust me enough to speak to me.
Your Honor, I didn't think oral sex was actual sex instead of intercourse. I'm not sticking nothing in there.
It's in the name.
I wasn't.
It's in the name.
How old are you? You know, relationships require mutual respect, and I don't see a whole lot of it that's been going on. So now at least I understand, Mrs. Wallace, why you asked for a polygraph examination.
Correct.
I asked for my polygraph examiner to conduct the test. Would you please ask the expert to join us?
Sure thing. Sir.
Good day, Your Honor.
Good day, sir. Would you please introduce yourself and your credentials for the record?
Certainly. My name is John Yarbrough. I'm a certified polygraph examiner, also a member of the American Polygraph Association. I've conducted hundreds of polygraphs for numerous law enforcement agencies around the state, as well as professional and private polygraphs.
And Mr. Yarborough, you have performed numerous polygraph examinations for this court. I found you to be more than qualified to do so. And again today, I asked you to administer a polygraph examination to Mr. Wallace, who willingly submitted. Am I correct, sir?
That is correct, Your Honor.
We asked Mr. Wallace, on the night you returned home from rehearsal without your underwear, did you have sexual contact with anyone other than your wife? Is that true?
That is correct, Your Honor.
What was Mr. Wallace's answer?
Mr. Wallace answered no.
What did the test results indicate?
The polygraph examination results indicated there was no deception noted to that case.
Thank you, Mr. Yarborough.
I told you, baby. I told you.
And Mrs. Wallace had a very specific question she wanted me to put to Mr. Wallace. We asked Mr. Wallace, on your most recent birthday, did you have sexual contact with anyone other than your wife?
That is correct, Your Honor.
What was Mr. Wallace's answer?
Mr. Wallace answered no.
And what did the test results indicate?
The polygraph examination results indicated there was no deception indicated.
See? I love you.
Mr. Yarborough, thank you so much for your work today and your work always.
You're welcome, Your Honor.
Appreciate it. Thank you. Mr. and Mrs. Wallace, at least as it relates to those incidents that you specifically had questioned on, Mr. Wallace was truthful with you.
Yes, ma'am.
You might want to acknowledge that to your husband.
Thank you for being truthful. I just pray that you don't wind yourself up in situations like that ever again, and that you're more mindful. And I really appreciate you staying true to our marriage.
I accept that. And from here on out, I just want to make sure you know that I'm the man that you want me to be, and I can be for myself and our family. So I love you, and I'm willing to do anything for you.
I have heard what you both have said. Miss Wallace's needs are not being met in this marriage, and what I mean by that is she wants her partner back.
Yes.
She needs you to get out of your head and communicate better. And you might need to continue with some grief counseling so that you can get through whatever depression you have been experiencing coming out of the death of your mother. But you also are going to have to get off your butt and get a job that can help sustain your family. That's just really the bottom line, because Mrs. Wallace can't carry the whole burden by herself, and more importantly, but she does not want to.
Amen.
That's not what she signed up for. I know that you brought divorce papers to court, but you left them unsigned originally.
That's correct, Your Honor.
Do you plan to sign them today?
No, Your Honor, not at this point. If he can stay true and find a job and help me get us out of this rut of this eviction, we can work on going to marriage counseling and work on our marriage as long as he stays present.
So this court would like to order a continuation of marriage counseling that we will sponsor.
Thank you.
And your husband needs a moment to be able to be as completely honest with the counselor, just like you need a moment to be completely honest with the counselor. And then you both need to come together and be honest with each other.
Right.
The marriage is between the two of you, and I sense a tremendous amount of love between you, but it will not work unless you put the work in. Do you both agree with me?
Yes.
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, sir.
I wish you luck on your marriage, and I hope that it does work out for the sake of your children and for the sake of yourself.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That's my verdict.
I love you, baby. I'm so sorry.
I want you to do better. That's all I'm saying. Like,
I know I am gonna do better. Thank you. I mean, I don't understand where my head was at the time, but I know I'm gonna do better from now on, okay?
yes.
I love you so much.
Love you too.